everyone, welcome to this video created for and by CharmEU. In this video you will get an idea of how MSTeams was used during the CharmEU Winter School in 2021. Step 1 was of course creating a team. This team was going to be used by the Winter School student participants, the staff members that were facilitating and organizing the Winter School, and the external stakeholders that were invited for some of the activities during the 4 days of the Winter School. It is important in this point to really highlight that this was all the activities were completely organized online. MSTeams was the main tool that was used to support the activities. So I will be showing you some of the points that we have also been through in order to plan and organize the activities. First of all, you would need to create a team, as we said. In order to do so, you need to have full rights in the environment that you're using, in the Microsoft Team environment that you're using. If you if you don't, then you cannot make a team by just having a guest account in that environment. So in order to create a team, you click on the button on the lower left on join or create a team. And then this window appears. So you click on create a team, and we chose for the Winter School to make a class team type. I just want to remind you that you can always go on the settings for your personal account. You can always go to the settings, switch view, and choose on the theme or the layout that fits you best. Also make sure that you have the notifications on, so in case there's an activity in the team that you have created, you're notified about it. And when it comes to captions, this is also something we used in the live sessions of the Winter School, so in the live meetings. We asked students to enable the captions so for inclusivity reasons mainly, if they needed it. Step 2 was creating the channels. So you can make as many channels as you need, basically, in the team that you have created. As you see here, this is the team that we have created for the CharmEU. In this environment, I myself had a guest account, so that's why I don't have so many options. In the general channel, everyone that is member of the Winter School team had access to this channel, had access to the files, and could also interact in the post section. But we had also chosen to make more channels. There was a channel that was only for staff members, for the communication of the staff members, and it was private. And there were also, you can see that with this lock, and there were also separate channels for each one of the student teams. There were 4 of them, and they were named after the SDG theme that they were working on. So the channels that were set to private were only accessible for the members of these particular channels. So the students that were part of Life and Health only, for example. But we have also added the staff members in each one of the student team channels. When it comes to organizing online sessions for your students, in our case, we clicked on the Meet button, and then we just scheduled meetings. These meetings would appear in the agenda of every member of the team, but would also appear in the general channel under posts, as you see here. You could also add a description for each one of the meetings, so students know more about the session, or if they had to prepare something. So you can see it here. And under new conversation, in the button, in the blue button on the lower side, you could make a new post, or you can actually start a new conversation with your students. If you do so, and if you have a particular person or the whole team that you want to refer to, please make sure to use the @ indication. And also team members can react to any post with an emoji, making the virtual communication more interactive. Step 3 was preparing the team workspace and the content that we were going to share with the students within the MSTeams environment. In the general channel, as you see here, and it was open to all students, to all members of the team. We added some files related to the sessions that would take place during the winter school, such as presentations or handouts with instructions or information that students could go back to. We chose to set these files as read-only, so no changes were by mistake made from the students. This is the indication of read-only. But besides offering content on the general channel, we also added some information, some content on the files of each team, so of each student team channel. So you could do that in files. And of course, all members of that team channel could create or upload different kinds of media, as you see here. And something else that we had already prepared was a OneNote page or addition. So OneNote was added in MSTeams as an additional tool, and it was accessed by the students in each one of their channels. They could access it either by clicking on the notes in the file folder, or by clicking on the notes on the upper bar. Once they did that, they would be presented with different sections. Basically, these are templates that we had already prepared for them. First one was a getting started template that would explain them how to navigate through OneNote. And then there were sections that were divided based on the day of the winter school. So there were basically 4 sections, one for each day. And within the days, there were also other sections or paragraphs that were divided based on the activities that students had to go through with their team mainly. So, for example, you see team details, brainstorming, reflection, and there was also some tasks that were guiding them and giving them more structure for the process that they had to take during the winter school. Besides guiding the students, this was also giving the opportunity to the teacher to monitor the progress that the student teams were doing during the winter school. Finally, you would have to add, or we would have to add our students, and not only students actually, but also external stakeholders and any kind of members that were participating in the winter school. This is a step that I chose to put in last, since it is important that you have almost everything quite organized within the Teams environment before you give access to your members. So as long as you have everything fixed, then you can also add your members. So you can basically go to the team. This is another example, but you can go to the team that you have and click on the 3 dots next to that team and click on Add Member. By doing that, this is the first option, and by doing that, you will basically adding members manually yourself, and you will add them using their emails. The other option is to let the members add themselves in the team by using a team code of that specific team. But of course, guests won't be able to join with the team code. So this can only be used as long as every member of the team has full access to the team environment. In our case, for the winter school, this was not the case. So we had a lot of guest members or members with guest accounts accessing, and we just added them all manually. So when you add them manually, they received an email, and they can follow the instructions in that email to access the team. Please make sure, especially for external stakeholders, please make sure to inform them in advance that for the purpose of the course, you will be using MSTeams, since some of them might not be familiar with this software. They might need to download it or navigate through it in advance and get prepared. This also accounts for your students. So it is quite important that they are aware of the software that will be used for their education, and they also get some information on how to use that in advance. So this actually summarizes some of the points and the tips that we had from the winter school when it comes to the use of MSTeams. Good luck with preparing your course, and please get back to us if you have any questions.